Hey there. So, depending on who my audience is watching right now, do you remember when TV was a thing? I don't mean like kind of jokingly, but was an actual thing. When you actually had a TV guide or some sort of a thing that in your paper where you'd actually look forward to picking out what was going to come on TV. And every year, every single year, each of the three stations that there were, plus your local stations, would come out with their Halloween shows, whether it would be like Universal horror movies on it in the middle of the night, Charlie Brown's special, or different Halloween themed TV shows. So tonight I'm going to look at some what I consider some really cool horror Blu-ray and DVD box sets, and a couple of singles to really talk about some great watching for Halloween. Some really cool stuff because there are some cool TV things for Halloween. When you're watching your Halloween stuff and you're getting movie after movie, and this just becomes like a deluge of the same thing over and over again, it's really nice to break it up, whether it be a season of something, if you really want a marathon, or just a favorite episode or two. Uh, I got a few here that we're going to look at, and it's by far not a definitive list. Some, I'll be honest with you, were just too far up for me to actually reach, or just too cumbersome to get at. But I'll mention those along the way, even if I can't show them. And let's get started with Halloween horror suggestions. I'm not sure what part this is, part 4 maybe. And we'll look at some really cool TV stuff, and hope you guys enjoy it. Hey there, so I got my tea just out of sight there, so I may have to go grab that. And I'm sitting on my legs like an idiot, so you know that's going to be something that's going to actually end fairly soon. But let's start off with some Halloween stuff. Now, some stuff I didn't bring down. You can see right up behind me that I got a few like the Walking Dead sets right there, which of course is like is a show that I really enjoy, but I didn't really want to like break it down and mention that, even though it's a good choice for a Halloween thing. But you got to watch whole season, and that's more of an investment thing. Uh, some of these are like that, but a lot of these you can watch a standalone episode of because they have some really great stuff. So let's get started, and we're doing this in no particular order, but some stuff I think can make some cool watches during the Halloween season. First up is one that predates like most of the other anthology shows, and you can find different sets of these out there. This one is an 8 this set. It's got like over 13 hours, like 33 episodes basically of this series, and it's one called like a One Step Beyond. It does deal with a lot of like science fiction-y type stuff. There are like the horror aspects of it as well. It's just a really cool one if you want to get back to kind of the really old school type stuff, and I do enjoy this. So anthology shows are really great, kind of like a little palate cleanser too to go along the way uh, when you're watching when you've seen so many like new fancy horror things. Speaking of anthology type shows, I do have to say I can't find. I've got like one or two Goosebumps here. I can't find where the hell they are. I'm not sure, but I did find The Haunting Hour. These are watches for me over Halloween because I haven't seen these shows. Know very little about these episodes, and I'm kind of looking forward to watching them with my kids. So the Haunting Hour. Another one that I didn't take out, though I do have most of, but not all the series, is a series called Charmed, which can have some pretty cheesy stuff. So think of Charmed as kind of like the Roger Corman Monster movie uh, of the TV era. It's nothing too serious. It's pretty light and fluffy. There's gonna be some pretty awful acting in it, but it can be a lot of fun. So especially the early episodes, the acting is really really bad, and the villains for the early episodes, but you just got to see it. Uh, Next up is another one. It's kind of hard to watch like just one episode of, but I wanted to kind of highlight this series, and I'm going to put it right back there when I do. A couple of these that's easy to do with, and that is the show Fringe. I found Fringe to be like a surprisingly good series. I really did like this a lot, and I didn't think I was going to. My better half like kept telling me about it, and so finally we got it and we bought it all. And this is actually the only one we have on Blu-ray. The rest we got it on DVD. So maybe sometime there's like a Black Friday sale or a Boxing Day, I'll grab the other ones on Blu-ray and kind of just upgrade them. No hurry though, I do have them all. Next up is one I only have 2 seasons of so far, and I did enjoy what I saw of the series. I'll be honest, the first couple episodes didn't really draw me in. I wasn't a big fan, but it kind of grew on me, and I'm not sure if the series became better or if it just became used to it. Maybe you guys can tell me. I think this show's still going on. I only had the first 2 seasons, and I've never watched it off of TV. I've only watched it. No, I watched the first episode off TV. I think back when we had Hulu. But most of the time, I just watch things that I buy the seasons of, and that is Grimm. I did kind of find that fun, especially this guy here, the kind of like that guy. That's my favorite in that series. I think he just he outshines the lead, and that was one of the things that I liked about it, but I kind of didn't like about it at the time. Give me your thoughts on these shows, by the way. Now, I'd really like to know what you thought about some of these. Next up is, what I consider probably the best season of the series, except for, I think the last season was pretty stellar. But it's been up and down for me as a series. But there's no way in heck that I could not have Bates Motel there. As you can see, mostly newer. Oh, cat hair. I was snuggling up to the kitty just a minute ago. Bates Motel. We have like 5 cats, so when I say kitty, I kind of mean the one that you don't normally see on camera, what you saw in my very early videos, if you watch them, who is Whitey, who will hopefully be here, because I want to be getting the cats in and out a little bit more, just because I think they need more attention. Alright, next up is a TV miniseries, and I wanted to include this one because I want to include a couple TV miniseries, so there's 2 here for sure. If I can find them. Let's see. Yes, I can. Well, 3. 3 miniseries. One that my better half kind of dug, and I really don't remember this one. I think I saw it, but I got to rewatch it. I have to be totally honest with you. And that is one called Triangle. It has a fantastic little cast in it. I mean, like. We got it's by Bryan Singer and Dean Devlin too. So it's got Eric Stoltz, Catherine Bell, Lou Diamond Phillips, Bruce Davison, Charles Martin Smith, Sam Neill. So yeah, there's like an incredible cast in this. I'm guessing this is about the Bermuda Triangle. My better half saw it and she wanted to own it. A friend of mine was giving away most of his DVDs, and that was one of the ones that he gave me. So I haven't got a chance to check it out yet. But it seemed like a really cool idea for a Halloween type, so who knows. This one I do know really well, and I'm very proud to have this edition. I know sometimes they're going to come out with like a big Blu-ray edition, and maybe they already have. But this was the original edition of this, and it had features on it that weren't on the other editions that came in afterwards. And it's the original artisan edition of Stephen King's The Stand. A lot of people are iffy on this one, and I'm a fan of the book The Stand. I read it when I was younger. And I ended up, when I got older, I read the extended edition as well. But I really did dig this movie. And some people didn't like the guy that played Flag, and I am completely in disagreement with that. I love Jamie Sheridan as Flag. I really did. I think he did a great job as Randall Flagg. It blew me away. I remember watching this. I was younger. I was at home. I can remember the first few minutes of it. I remember when the Blue Oyster Cult song comes on, and it just got me, and it let me look at Rob Lowe in a different light too. I really started to see the guy could actually have the acting chops that I didn't even realize that he had. Next up is the one that came out on Blu-ray, and I'm guessing a lot of you guys have picked up the Blu-ray. I'm traveling next week, so I haven't had a chance to pick up anything at all, and I won't be able to pick up anything until I come back. So I'm glad I got the DVD edition of this one, and I'll definitely upgrade to the Blu-ray down the road. So that is, of course, Salem's Lot. You guys know I like my Stephen King, and you guys know I love this movie, the miniseries. This is the actual full-length miniseries, not the European movie edition. So that was key for me to get it. So 183 minutes long. Next up is it's kind of a rare one. It's a Canadian one, and it came out on the company by the name of Platinum. Now, it says this other one here was put out by Echo Bridge, which means maybe that you can find at least one edition of this series. It's been a hard find, and it took me a long time to track down the series. So, if you guys ever get a chance to pick it up, it is a fun. It's more of a kids type series, but I thought it was really fun. I thought, there's kind of some cheesy acting in it, and it does show it's kids horror cred a little bit, but it's still a really cool series, and it's a Dracula, the series. It's pretty sure this was a Canadian series that was done. This is the guy that plays Dracula right there. Have these like kids that kind of like know that he's the vampire, and they're trying to take him down, but it's not exactly easy. They got like their uncle's helping them out, and altogether there was like 21 episodes. This here is the complete series, and it used to come on like YTV, probably in the States, but it came on Nick. So I just thought it was a really fun one, and I think kind of like these fun shows, kind of like these half-hour shows are really great watches in between, like say you're buffering in between two movies and you just want to watch something fun. It's kind of a nice in between spot. The only one I want to do kind of an animated one on its own, but this series I think went beyond just animated, and I think it belonged in this in this video, and that is Spawn, the animated series. You can obviously tell the gothic like horror style aspects to this series. Of course, it's got a gritty urban like type of aspect to it as well, and it is a superhero show. But as far as superhero shows go, I think this is probably the best bet for like a Halloween superhero show for you to watch. If you guys have other suggestions, feel free to put them in the comment section down below. I love any suggestions that I can get that I don't have on here. Next up is one that I know certain people are really going to like, and that is the classic Twin Peaks. This is actually an amazing box set. I recommend picking it up if you don't already have it. This is Twin Peaks: The Entire Mystery. I think over in the UK they put out like a really like a cheaper edition of this. It's the same thing, but I think this is cheaper. But this cost me like it didn't cost me anything. It was on it was on Christmas, and I had like this this $100-something like HMV gift card, and I was gonna buy like 2 or 3 like different movies, and I saw this set, and I'm like, no, this one's the more expensive set, but I kind of want to spend my money on something that's really something I'm really going to enjoy and it's really worth it. This does include the movie, so that's actually very cool as well. And a lot of features, a lot of really cool stuff in here. It's The Entire Mystery. Twin Peaks is a great series, a really cool one to watch for Halloween, especially the first season. If you're going to just watch anything, I would just watch the first. If you can't watch all, just watch the first 6 episodes. Just some great stuff. And what is this doing here? This is a movie series. Yes, it is. But there are 2 episodes of a cool TV series on this specific set. Freddy's, what's it called? Freddy's Nightmares, right? Yeah, Freddy's Nightmares. So there's only 2 episodes, unfortunately, on here. I'm pretty sure it's yeah, only 2 episodes. But I really like the Freddy's Nightmares series. I wish it would really get a like its own. God, I want to get it get its own box set. I would buy Freddy's Nightmares in a second. It's like recently, like Tales from the Dark Side came out on DVD again for only $29. I don't have that one here. My son has that one. I do highly recommend the series. If you can get Monsters too, that's another series I don't have here. I do recommend you pick up. Both of those shows are fantastic shows. They are great watches for Halloween. You will not regret it. Tales from the Dark Side and Monsters are 2 series that belong in everyone's collection. I will have my top series like done at the end of this one here. Like none of these are in order except for the last few, which I really want to leave as like kind of like the tops. Next up is a cool little sci-fi series that was done here in Canada, and I really like this one. It was a sci-fi horror series. It started out very different. Like the format of the first season was very different from the format of the other seasons. I mean, like the first season had like 2 half-hour, like kind of like storylines that will kind of like interconnect. Dan Aykroyd would come in at the beginning of it, and if you've seen the show, you know right now which one it is, and it is Psi Factor. There's all 4 seasons right here. Some really cool episodes. Definitely stuff to check out during the Halloween season. And since I'm sure this is Netflix and all that stuff, and we gotta mention, well, first off, True Blood is way up there, and if you want to check out something like True Blood, definitely that's a kind of a cool series. You want to see like some cool nudity. Another series that's up there that I'm not going to go up to get is Carnival, and I do recommend the series Carnival. There's one particular episode where they go into this town, that's kind of like this mining town, and there's these ghosts, and I don't want to say anything else because just watch it. Just watch it. It's an amazing episode. And look for it and watch it. Don't like Google it to see the ending and stuff. It's pretty brutal, and I really liked it. So next up is, I'm sure you guys have watched this on Netflix or you own it or whatever, Supernatural. Now, notice although I own like 8 seasons of it, I'm going to say the first 5. Why? Because those are the Eric Kripke seasons. These are the seasons. This is a natural progression of Supernatural. It ends actually at the end of season 5, pretty close to the way that it should have ended, and not gone on ad nauseum. Although I do find this kind of fun, like Supernatural is every once in a while now. It has gotten long in the tooth, but this here was a natural progression that the series was supposed to have, arcing over, and I do recommend that. Okay. Next up, okay, Ripper Street is not good show. It's not supposed to be there. Not as in this type. But another TV movie. This was on I think the USA channel, and those were the Cabin by the Lake films. They're actually 2 TV movies with Judd Nelson. They're very tongue in cheek, very fun. I actually watched them. I thought I was only going to watch one, and I just really enjoyed it, so I double featured it and watched both of them. Just really fun movies, Cabin by the Lake and Return to Cabin by the Lake. Nothing you're going to take too seriously, but they're just really fun, little like kind of like tongue-in-cheek. Next up is another Stephen King. You know what, guys? I like my Stephen King. I like my Stephen King a lot, and I did mind this series. That series was pretty good. Some people didn't like it as much, but I thought Under the Dome had a lot of cool aspects to it. Not everything worked, but I think that it worked enough to definitely check out. It's a little, for a Halloween show, maybe it's kind of stretching it, but I wanted to give some more King love in there. Next up is a Fox Family Channel series that I don't remember very well, so I'm not going to tell you a lot. I'm going to pretend that I remember this show. Amazing series. Just so many great memorable episodes. But no, this will probably be me checking this series out for the first time, and to actually see. It's a series I've seen before. Again, another one that was given to me that I want to check out, and that is one called Ghost Stories. So apparently, Rip Torn is the host of this series, and pretty creepy box set. I gotta say that. I'm not sure how creepy it gets for like its family channel, but it'll be interesting to see. There's never before seen episodes. Apparently, there's 4 never before seen episodes on disc 6. So for me, a lot of these I never before seen. Now I may turn this on, I may remember, recognize it right away. But as for right now, I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't remember the series very well at all. Next up is one that was a very, very dark series for a superhero TV series, and that is Swamp Thing. Basically, this is like it definitely beats the movies in my opinion. Well, maybe not the first movie, but it beats the second movie for sure. But there's just a coolness to a series that can take its lead young like kid actor, the one that they watch because the kids relate to, that hangs around with Swamp Thing, and sell him off to white child slavery ring, have his death faked, and never bring him back or be saved or anything. This is a very dark show when it does stuff like that. It's got some neat little fancy elements as well. Definitely a show worth checking out. Again, this is put up by Shout Factory, so it's a cool release. Just do some amazing stuff. And I shall be right back. All right, so I had to go grab my drink. Felt like a little coughing spurt was coming on. I gotta get my allergy pills. I promised Des I was gonna get them because I've been coughing a bit in my videos, so I'm definitely gonna get them. Next up is the one really comedic show that I put in here, and a favorite from my youth actually is this one here. This is all 70 episodes and 2 feature-length movies. So if you get a chance to get this set, I do highly recommend it. It's a really cool set, and that is the Munsters. I love the Munsters, and I do kind of watch. You tend to watch a few episodes especially during Halloween time. Something I put on every once in a while anyway, but it's a great set to have, and to like to shove stuff on. Even like to watch one like the cheesy movies and stuff like that they did. Not as good as the TV series. I do recommend watching the TV show, but definitely the Munsters. I didn't put in Buffy or Angel. I figured those are givens that like people watch normally anyway. So, or the Halloween season, maybe there's an episode of Buffy that you want to watch, something like Hush or something like that. But I didn't really want to put that in. Same with Angel. There's not really an Angel episode that I can actually put my finger on and say, yeah, that's good one for Halloween. Because overall it's a horror series anyway, and it's something that's more, it's out there. But there are a couple I put on here that are definitely kind of more mainstreamy, so just to let you know. Here's one that I don't think got, I don't think ever got the credit that it ever deserved. And that is a series called The Following with Kevin Bacon. I really, really like the show. Some people thought it like kind of lost its way in the second season. I don't agree. I think it actually did pretty good. Actually, I think they should have took more chances in the second season. But it's a gutsy, ballsy show. There's characters like living and dying that you don't expect, and but in the first season, there's all these like you don't know for a lot of it, especially during the first half of the season, who exactly is the cult of serial killers. You're always finding somebody new. And that was a really, really kind of a cool twist. I'm glad that they didn't keep going along like that route. Like there's it's twists throat, but it didn't hang on that. You didn't have to have like somebody in every episode being revealed for it to be like a cool episode. There's enough kind of different cool twists and turns. Think of it like 24, but with like serial killers. It definitely has the intensity of a Jack Bauer type character, but dealing with like serial killers. Next to a guy that gets into the mind with serial killers. And speaking of that, there was a show, like a really good show, where a guy got into the minds of serial killers, and it got canceled way too soon. And it's one that I strongly recommend during the Halloween season. It's a great series, and it's Hannibal. This one only went for 3 seasons. These are the first 2. I don't have the 3rd season. I did grab these up at actually when there was a sale at a video store that was selling out, and I hadn't watched it really. I'd seen the first episode of Hannibal, and I'm not going to lie to you guys. When I saw the first episode, I was not that impressed. I thought it was going to be a basic procedural. I wasn't totally sold on Mads Mikkelsen's like portrayal of the character right away. I was intrigued, but I wasn't intrigued enough to watch. I wasn't feeling well. My better half was gone. I finally took him up to watch, and I started going through it, and I was like, just engrossed. As I got further into it, it just really sucked me in, and I just got the brilliance of the show all of a sudden, and definitely want to check it out. Next up is the probably the best of like see shows like Scream, the TV series, and Scream Queens, and all those shows. But the one that did the OG of those is Harper's Island. If you haven't seen Harper's Island, you don't know what this is. You're kind of going, huh? What's that? Watch it. Watch Harper's Island. It's a really good. The whole slasher thing that kind of like Scream kind of does, and that Scream TV series does, and that slasher the series did. This does it, but amped it up to 10. This just does it amazingly. This is really good. It takes the whole slasher genre. It takes the whole idea behind all that stuff and puts it just puts it out there. There's some really creative deaths on there. There's people that are like a certain specific way, and once you meet them and once you see them, they actually get out of those stereotypes, and they're like totally different than you expect. The reveal is really, really good. There's an amazing killer on this. Calvin Keith Rennie does a really great job in this one here. It's just a great cast overall. It's an amazing cast, and then once you start looking at it, I mean, like Katie Cassidy's in this, Christopher Gorham's in this. There are so many actors in this that you're going to recognize from other stuff that have gone on and become really famous. It's a really great show. Check it out. Harper's on, and I cannot give this a stronger recommendation. Really, really watch this show. I watch this every year on Halloween, and I kind of marathon it usually over a kind of a weekend, and it's a really good show to watch. Really, really good. Even after you know who the killer is, there's just enough interesting acting and kills and stuff in there to give it another watch. Next up is a series I grew up on and really enjoyed, and that is, well, Tales of the Unexpected. This is the first 2 seasons. So I grabbed this one back when we used to have something called Zellers that was here in Canada. And they used to have a lot of this Acorn Media stuff. And these have at really good prices. I got this one for like, I think at $10 at the time. And Roald Dahl is like a favorite author of mine. I actually got my daughter like for 1 year like her a Roald Dahl like set of books because I wanted her to be able to experience stuff that I grew up reading and that. You know, you probably know him for stuff like James Giant Peach and like a lot of different stuff he did. But there's so much amazing stuff on here, and I don't know if I can just pick one. I'm not sure if the Lamb one, Lamb and Slaughter, if that's on here, then that's a really good one. Well, let me see. Lamb to Slaughter's on here. Yeah, that's one I really recommend. It has a great like morose sense of humor. I love it. Have to put it in there, and that is Mystery Science Theater. It is a great like kind of it's a funny series, but it got like some horror and stuff in there as well. And it's a great one for like to kind of have a lighter Halloween night. And I do recommend this set right here. You see this one? This one has 6 movies as opposed to the usual 4 that you have in the set. I have Moon 02, The Day the Earth Froze, The Leech Woman, of course, is a cool one, Gorgo. But the classics on there, the bonus disc, are Mitchell and The Brain That Wouldn't Die. 2 of my all-time favorite episodes. I really recommend it. It's an awesome series. Get that one. You get Pod People. You've got yourself a great night. And I didn't forget them. I just wanted to wait because it's a heavier set. And this one I did take down because I think it's one that really does deserve to be watched. Like you can pick your favorite episode during that, and they're all out on Blu-ray now. Everybody's got like the really cool new Blu-ray sets, but I have this one here, the X-Files set. I think it's the original set that came out, and it has all the all the seasons are in there like that. And I think there's like a book or a bonus disc or something like that. Special features. Special features disc, and what else is this? Fight the Future. So it has the first movie. I have both movies. I was unaware this was actually in here. But I like the way they were done. Like the season sets were done kind of like this. Just put in there like that. Some people didn't like that. I really did. I do have movies in there. And I'm not sure if it's here now, but I think there's like some other bonus stuff in here that I cannot for the life of me get out right now. But there's like a kind of like a comic or something like that, and some other features, but my thing is getting a little war. Now here's another series that I do recommend. That is Dexter. It's the complete series here. This is it's a few different sets done out like this, but I do like the series Dexter. I think it's really cool. It's done, of course, like his blood splatter, seasons 1 to 8 with bonus features, discs, and stuff like that. So, strongly recommend that series. Now we're getting down to the tops, to the Mahatma Gandhi, just the best ones. And so I got the top 6. Let's go with that. And Number 6 is Alfred Hitchcock Presents. Cool twist stories, a very dark, dry sense of humor from the master, and some really great stuff. There's this episode early on, I'm not sure if it's the first episode, when the first, with Joseph Cotton in it. It's just an amazing one, where he's in a car accident. If you've seen it, you'll know it right away. There are some incredible episodes, some great actors. I only have the first 2 seasons. I really wish I had the rest, but there we go. Alfred Hitchcock Presents. Really strongly recommend that series. Number 5 is, well, it should go without saying, and it is the American Horror Story. It's definitely deserved it. The first 3 seasons still are the best for me, and going with my top being Asylum, Murder House being number 2, and Coven being number 3, in that order. But really cool, and it's, you know, horror on TV, and horror done right. In a lot of cases, I think, you know, it's not for everybody. Not everyone's going to work for everybody. But for me, overall, I think that American Horror Story has mixed it up enough to actually kind of like be different and do some different stuff there that I really did enjoy, especially for like a show. It's pretty much a network TV show. Next up is number. Oh, this is 7, right? 5. Oh, yeah, it probably is. So it's number 5 then. 5, 4, 3, 2. No, 4. Duh. Okay, number 4 is Tales from the Crypt. I love Tales from the Crypt. Unfortunately, I have seasons 1, 2, and 4. I gotta get the rest. I know that a couple years back I was so jealous of my stateside brethren because they got these at Big Lots for like $3, and I was crying. But these are some of my favorite seasons anyway. Some great stuff on here. Tales from the Crypt. You gotta have watched at least 1 or 2 Tales from the Crypt episodes during Halloween. Now my top 3, they're all anthology series, and they're ones that I really recommend. The ones that like I definitely give my stamp of approval to, and however, you know, whatever that means to you. Number 3 is Night Gallery. Doesn't get the credit that it deserves. It's actually a really cool series. I love the way that it was done. It had a very different aspect to it. Certain ones are, you know, definitely better than others. But it's really well done. I thought the episodes were well put together. There's one, and I'm not sure if it's on this season or the season before. No, it's on this one. Episode 22. The Caterpillar. Just watch it. All I can say is just watch that. There's a commentary, by the way, by Del Toro, Guillermo Del Toro, to the commentary. He's a really big fan of Night Gallery. It had a huge influence on the movies that he made and the way that he made them. So just letting you know that right now. That's how big of a show that was. Number 2 is, well, it's another Rod Serling series. And that is The Twilight Zone. My only season. Really, it actually is. I got to get the box set. There's a big box set there I'm going to pick it up. Down the road, it's got like a comic book and everything with it. I'm just drooled over it for a long time. It's expensive. But the definitive edition, I got this one at Walmart once. It was on for like $20. Season 1, I love The Twilight Zone. I can watch these like day and night. I have the book to the definitive guide to Twilight Zone here somewhere. And it just has some amazing stuff. Some great actors. Incredible episodes. Fantastic for Halloween. But what can beat The Twilight Zone? What could beat The Twilight Zone for Halloween? There's so many cool shows that were mentioned, and there's stuff, you know, Kolchak that I didn't get to mention because I don't own it, but it is a great one to have for Halloween. There are, you know, the Night Stalker films themselves, so many great series and shows. But what is my top one? If you've been watching my channel for years, then you know, you probably have. So, but what it is, and Image put it out, it is by far my favorite horror TV series, period. And I think it's definitely one of the doesn't get enough credit, doesn't get mentioned enough. It's just amazing. The box set is absolutely stunning. There's the special features are incredible. There's like audio commentaries. There's the actors that are in it, and just like Boris Karloff's Thriller. This is my favorite horror show of all time. If you want to see the horror show that influenced me when I was young, when I was growing up, to like when it came to acting and writing, just the series that still blows my mind today. Just how amazing this is, and Boris Karloff's Thriller has some really great ones. They do some like great episodes. Pigeons from Hell, of course, is in here. Uh, just so many great. God, William Shatner, Rip Torn, Richard Kiel, Leslie Nielsen, Richard Chamberlain, Marlo Thomas, Mary Tyler Moore, Russell Johnson, Edward Platt, Elizabeth Montgomery, Alan Napier, Donna Douglas, Ursula Andress, Marion Ross. Just a ton of actors are in this series here. We have like commentaries by people like Tim Lucas, Jim Wynorski, actually. Just a bunch of people doing like different commentaries on here as well. Promos, like the isolated musical scores for certain ones. Just really cool. This is the top of the list. This is my top series for Halloween. This is the one that I'll always pick episodes from this show to watch every year with, bar none, it's getting watched. Thriller, that's my tops. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Had a lot of fun doing this. Had a lot of fun making this. And I hope you guys are enjoying these Halloween suggestions. Just throwing a few out there and just trying to give you guys some things to go with. Obviously, there's way too many to watch in one Halloween, but that's okay. There's lots of Halloweens, and every day can be Halloween for you if you're a really big horror fan. So thanks for watching, guys. And for me right now, that tea is getting awfully cold there, and it's looking awfully good. It is time for tea. Thanks for staying for the after credit sequence. There's going to be a really quick one, kind of a mini movie review. The other night I watched 31. It's the latest Rob Zombie film. And as you guys know, I kind of like respect yet unsure with a lot of Rob Zombie stuff. I was hoping that where 31 was kind of more of one of his original stories, and I really liked his last one, Lords of Salem, that it was going to follow along that line. And yes, something's was gonna kind of blow my mind. Something's really gonna enjoy. Unfortunately, 31 doesn't really do it, and I can't really pinpoint what exactly is wrong with the film. I know that Richard Brake does a fantastic job as Doomhead in the small portion of the film that he's in, but overall, the movie as a whole, just in my opinion anyway, it really fails to deliver. It just, and people were saying, was it like the fault of of Sheri Moon Zombie? She was not at all. Sheri Moon Zombie does a fantastic job with what she has to do, but there's just not a lot, and there's no one spot. Like, if you ask me about Halloween 2, like the Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, I can tell you why I don't like it. It's kind of like a really pretentious film that's trying to be artsier and trying to be deeper than it is. I can tell you, I can pinpoint that. Like I said, that's why I really didn't like Halloween 2. That right there, it's not hard for me at all. But if you were to ask me what I really didn't like about Rob Zombie's 31, it's just there. It's kind of blah. It never really takes up. You never really feel anything strong for the characters, and they have some good actors there. It's not the actors' faults at all. I do think that some of his choices for some of these, quote unquote villains were questionable at best. I think the first bad guy that's used there, the Nazi, kind of like the shorter guy, just, I guess, I never really felt the character was a threat. It seemed like a waste of time. Same with the bigger guy. There was kind of a Harley Quinnish type character, and I kind of liked her a little bit, but she didn't do much. When her character is put into the series, it's kind of telegraphed into the movie. It's telegraphed to the point where you know what's going to happen. It's like just getting like a nail and then like getting this huge ass like thing, huge gigantic mallet, not like an oversized, super oversized mallet that you don't need, and you're just like hammering it in with this tiny nail, and it's gone in with one whack, but you're still hammering anyway to just try to get that point across. And that's the way the movie felt to me. It just didn't. It didn't do it. It just. I wish it would. I would love to say that this was Rob Zombie's comeback movie. It just like it took the taste away from the other Halloween films. It just didn't. Especially the second one just really didn't really do it for me. This was a return to form for Rob Zombie, but it wasn't a return to form for Rob Zombie. Unfortunately, it was pretty bland and generic, and I didn't expect that. I actually went in with no like expectations at all. No raised expectations, no lowered expectations. I know by this point that it's you're rolling the dice with some of his stuff. There's some people that are gonna like it anyway, just because they like who he is. So they like his music, they like the Rob Zombie himself, and they'll just that's brutal. But I don't roll that way. I can't say that I liked it when I really didn't. I just I was bored. I was really really bored watching Rob Zombie's Halloween, and that Halloween Rob Zombie's 31, which in a way I think is kind of his Halloween 3. It's set on Halloween. It's not about Michael Myers. Maybe it was the second Halloween, but hey, what the hell. But but unlike Halloween 3, which works, it doesn't. It doesn't work. And I think there's not a worse thing I can say about a film than it just left me cold. Not, not bored, not angry, not upset, not questioned, just cold. And I honestly think, and a lot of people like crap on like Sherry Moon Zombie and some of the people that he has in his films. I think they deserve better. I think that they deserve better than that. I think that Sherry Moon Zombie deserves better than that. And I think she can pull off better than that. Hopefully, we'll get to see it. I still have faith that he can pull off something down the road, but 31 was not it. And unfortunately, guys, as far as a rating goes, I gotta give it a. I'm going the whole like I'll Stuckmanize the type roll rating here, and I'm gonna give this one a D minus. I just really did nothing for me. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope that wasn't too disappointing for you, but I just really didn't get into 31, and I probably mentioned it on here before, but I wanted to get a slightly more a small but kind of more thorough review on it. But yeah, that's what it was, and last night was House on the Edge of the Park, and I had a much more fun time with that. Have a great night, guys, and for me right now, it seriously is time for tea.